Hey guys!
Hey guys,
It's Cable,
and I'm Annie.
and today we're going to be making blueberry crisp on the fire.
Yeah, and we wore our blueberry shirts. We'll give you guys a close-up later, maybe.
And a link to purchase
yeah.
below.
So for our blueberry crisp, we're going to use a Dutch oven. It's basically any heat-proof pot that has a top over it. This is really important because it's going to cook in the pot, so you need to keep the heat in it, so you need a lid. Very important. And because this is a camp out dessert, it's super easy, almost no dishes. We make it as simple as possible. So you're just gonna start with 6 cups of blueberries. These are frozen Maine blueberries. These are, our classic camp dessert blueberries that you put over yogurt and cereal. But you could use any blueberries. But that's 6 cups of them. So we're just gonna put these straight into the pot.
So these are the blueberries we put in, and we're going to show you what else you need.
So next you're gonna need 1/2 cup of white sugar, and you're just gonna put that in with the blueberries. And then you're also gonna need a little bit of lemon juice. We're gonna use 1/2 of a lemon. It's not really exact, but depending on how sour or tart you want your blueberry crisp, you can use less, you can use a whole lemon. And I'm just gonna squeeze that right in there. Make sure not to get any seeds like I just did. But that's okay, you can just scoop them out. Sometimes it's helpful to squeeze it over your hand, and your hand will catch any seeds like that. Make sure your hands are clean. But also, this is camp, we're outside, Now you're just gonna stir together the blueberries, the lemon juice, and the sugar. And it's a beautiful color. We love that color.
So while Annie's making the blueberry crisp, I'm going to add another log to our fire. And basically for this dessert, you're going to want to cook it mostly on the coals. So make sure your fire is pretty much burned out so that you have the hot parts of the fire to cook on. I also thought that I should show you guys the lake just because we miss you so much here at camp. And this is just such a pretty view right now.
So next for your topping, we're gonna get another bowl so we can mix that. And we're basically just mixing 3/4 cup flour. And then these are just basic oats. We're gonna do 1/2 cup of oats, another 1/3 cup white sugar, some cinnamon. We're doing about a tablespoon, but you can add more or less depending on if you like cinnamon. And then 6 tablespoons of butter. And this is gonna make it kind of clump up and make it a little bit crunchy and crispy at the top. So we're gonna add 3/4 cup of flour. And I'm gonna mix this little by little. We're gonna add some of our sugar. This is 1/3 cup sugar. And then some of our oats. This is 1/2 cup of oats. And then finally, I'm gonna use a fork to mix this, but you can see our butter's softened already. This is gonna make it much easier for us to mix. This is 6 tablespoons of butter. I'm gonna use a fork and just start mixing this around until it gets nice and clumpy. So this is what it looks like. You can see it's really crumbly. And this is just from the butter and the flour mixture together. And all I'm gonna do is sprinkle it over my blueberries. Again, this does not have to be perfect. Now we're gonna put this over the fire, and as you can see, the fire's died down a little bit. I would say it should be a few more coals than this, but we're gonna put it on the edge. So you can see this little piece right here that I'm gonna place it on. And then we're gonna put the top on it so the whole thing cooks inside. So you can see how it's kind of bubbling around the edges. I moved it to the side because it was a little bit too hot. But what I'll do now is just keep the top on and keep turning it around so it doesn't burn. So we've been cooking for about 15 minutes. I took the top off and put it back on top of the fire just to get it a little bit less liquidy. You can see the blueberry juice bubbling up around the crisp. And we're almost done. So we've been cooking for about 20-25 minutes, and as you can see, it's a lot less liquidy now. And you can really take it off whenever you want, but this to me looks pretty good. So we're gonna have it cool and then give some to our friends.
Hey guys.